friends. We hope you guys are all doing well, and welcome back. Now this, as you know, Jonathan, sorry, looking at the screen, it's the other way around. Here's Jonathan, okay, as you know him. Okay, let me see you guys. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, cool. All right, let's take it again. Dear friends, we're starting an 8-week process, okay? And as you know, Jonathan here is your coordinator for Africa Group, and also Anthony on my left, he's also your coordinator, and me and Ian are also your coordinators. And what we're trying to do now, as with all groups we try to do, is when we have a new semester and when it's finished and we have new friends integrated, what we want to do is like spend a few weeks together, several lessons together, so that we can like mix, and it's what we call hitkalelut in Hebrew. It's like to bring all the friends together so we can mingle, so everybody gets to know each other, everyone gets to connect with each other. Now the advantage of this exercise every time new friends come on board is, one, to get them integrated into the group so they're not shy, so they feel part of the group and they feel really integrated. The second is that everybody knows everybody, so nobody's feeling like, well, who's this person, who's that person. So everybody's integrated into everyone, and it also allows us to strengthen the foundations of the group so that from that strong foundation we can build a strong framework, which is one of the most important things. Now for the next 8 weeks we're going to be doing a few lessons. Actually, Jonathan and Anthony will be doing those lessons because I'll be abroad. So I'll be in the US, so I won't be able to connect because of the 10-hour time difference. But Jonathan and Anthony will be leading that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a series of lessons together, all of us together, just like we do in BB, so that we can strengthen our foundations. The whole objective of the exercise, guys, is to become a Kabbalistic group. So at the end of this 8-week process, these eight lessons, what we should be knowing fully is how to activate ourselves as a Kabbalistic group, as men in their own 10, as women in their own 10, and all of us hopefully should have a framework, a structured framework, a structured study. Now last year when we started this thing, unfortunately we didn't do a good job of getting that framework done. I'm talking, when I say unfortunately, we didn't, it's like from our side of things. So this year we just want to make sure we don't make that kind of mistake again. And actually not mistake, but let's just say we want to make it better this year. All right, we just want to make things better, and that's what we should always be striving for, just trying to make things better so the group can be strong. Now over the past year we've achieved quite a bit actually, because we managed to bring all of Africa together and the whole world can see Africa on the screen in the morning lessons. So that's already a huge thing. Okay, so everybody now knows that there's a good, great, united Africa group. So this is already one thing that we managed to do. And if they don't see us on the screen, trust me, they start asking us. They go, well, where's Africa? What's with the friends? How's everything going? And when they see you guys on the screen, they go, oh, it's great, it's Africa. So we already have this connection with the whole world group, and we're already nicely integrated. So from this moment onwards, our next step is to just keep making the newcomers stronger, ourselves stronger, becoming a stronger group. That way, the more stronger we become, as we add more friends to the group, the more solid we'll be, and our work will be more inner. So today what we're going to do, we're just going to have a little session today. We're not going to spend a lot of time together today. It's just 45 minutes or so. But what I want to do today is just go over some of the bullet points, which is at the top of our Facebook page. If you can come to group guidelines and activities, just click on there. So, yep, continue reading. Okay. If you guys can also open Facebook if you can, and at the top where we have a pinned notice, let's just all go through that together so we all understand what's happening. Okay? That's first things first. Now, group guidelines. Can you possibly move the screen just a little bit this way, mate? Great, so I can read. Oh, yeah. Okay. Won't need the glasses. So let's just read. In fact, can you read? Because, yeah, that's it. Go on, make it bigger. Good, cool. Okay, leave it at that. Great, wonderful. Okay, so group guidelines and activities. All members, please read. Just like all groups who learn and study something, we also have our self-governing framework as below. This is a group of friends who have come together to study the wisdom of Kabbalah according to the method of Baruch Sulam with the group of Bnei Baruch. Okay, so from the first sentence, it's like Rabash's first article, right? We gathered here today to make sure that we study the wisdom of Kabbalah according to the method of Baruch Sulam, to go up in the ladder of spirituality and become a man and not remain as an animal. So it's very important for all of us to know that in this group we study one method and one method only. Kabbalah according to Baruch Sulam. Okay, so we don't bring anything else into this group. No other method, no other thoughts, no other schools of thought, schools of teaching, schools of philosophy. We study one thing, the wisdom of Kabbalah according to Baruch Sulam. That's it. So the group should not be having anything else in this closed group except things that belong to this method. Okay, nothing else. No other stuff, no politics, no sports, no social stuff and stuff like that. You know, nothing from my favorite football team or whatever. You can do whatever you like on your personal Facebook page. That's great. But in this group, in this closed group, we specifically focus on this method. Okay, guys, please turn off your microphones. Please turn off your microphones, whoever's got it on. Okay. So, let's take a look at the first rule. Men and women's spiritual work is carried out separately in the wisdom of Kabbalah. Our general group on Facebook is like a house for everyone, like in a family. However, our spiritual study engagement is separate. So in this Facebook group, we are all one big family. Everybody's in there together, just like in the center here, right? When we come to the center here, we have our women who study here, and we have the guys who study here. It's a common place for everyone. Our kids are here, our wives are here, our daughters are here, our brothers are here, our sons are here. It's one home for everyone. But we study spirituality separately. So whenever we do a spiritual activity, such as reading an article, coming to a morning lesson, or coming to another lesson, or coming to the gathering of friends, okay, we do it as men together, and women separately, they do it together. Okay, we all good with that? These are stuff we went through in the education center, but I want to make sure we're moving forward, concrete. I know some of you guys know this already, okay? But we're going to have to, all listen to it together so that our new friends can also be up at that same level as we are, and we're going to have to help them if they have any questions and so on. So we must all go through this process, okay? So please note that we are a mixed group. We have spouses, children, and family members who may or may not participate in our studies. Nevertheless, we must ensure that our social structure and environment is focused only on our spiritual development without any other inclinations. So this house, this Facebook closed group where we're all in there, must only contain our materials, our lectures, our sources. Okay? We all good? Any questions? I'm going to go point by point. If you've got any questions about a point, raise your hands. We all good? Great. Number 2. On this page, we can share anything from our activities, from texts, lessons, videos, etc., in order to give each other an aspiration for spiritual development, as long as everything is BB material. We can post photos and songs as long as they represent our activities in BB. Please do not post things that are irrelevant to our Kabbalah studies, and do not post material that is not Bnei Baruch material. Now, sometimes we go on the morning lesson, and on the morning lesson we can get a screenshot when they put Africa on. Yeah? For example, you guys can share it with everyone in the common room, so that the ladies also know that you guys are waking up to the morning lesson, because they get inspiration from that as well. Okay? It's like in a family. Okay, if our spouse is successful, they're trying hard, everybody gets inspired from that. So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we can share that with everyone in the group. Number 3, all friends in the group should treat the friends according to the teachings of Rabash. Love, respect, seeing them as great, being helpful, etc. If you have queries, you must refer to the book Social Writings. Now, there's a reason why I didn't list a lot of things here, okay? Because, we can list a lot of things. We can say we need to nullify ourselves, we need to see the good side of the friends, and so on and so on. We can make a list, but there's no point in somebody doing that for you when it's your effort that's going to make you spiritual, okay? So all of us should have personal responsibility in referring to Rabash's Social Writings and reading it every now and then on our own or within our 10 to clarify how we need to treat each other. Okay? Otherwise, what's the point of our work? What's the point of all these books if we don't use them? But as a general guideline, we need to treat each other in a respectful, in a caring, loving way, just like we would our own family. Okay, and that shouldn't, we can all imagine what kind of a situation that is, because, hopefully we all have families, or we grew up in families, so we can relate to that issue. In the group, though, there must be a caring and respectful kind of loving attitude. Okay, so also the dialogue between men and women is like I have a sister. Okay, so I treat the ladies like they are my sisters. Or if they're older than me, even they might be much older than me, like my mum. All right, so with respect, so they feel comfortable that we're all here. Okay, our spiritual work amongst the men is amongst the men, so it's not a big deal. And amongst women, it's amongst the women. But when we're interacting in any way, that mutual respect and care must facilitate the warmth of our mutual group. Okay. That's very important. Having connection in the 10 amongst the men is one thing. Having connection amongst the women is one thing. But also our mutual connection should be warm, sincere, and of course respectable. Okay? But the rest we must learn from Rabash in our spiritual work. Where are we? Number 4? Mm-hmm. Now, number 4, very important topic. Disputes should be handled by us together. Okay. Now, in groups we have dramas, right? We're supposed to have dramas. Kabbalists let us know we're supposed to have dramas. We do. This is why we've got coordinators. Okay. When you have a problem specifically with one friend, it's not gonna solve the problem if you guys headbang. Do you know what I mean? Okay. It's like 2 kids having an argument in the family. Who's gonna fix it? Dad or mom? They're gonna come and say, "Hey guys, relax. What's going on? Let's have a chat." Okay, so everybody gets their cocos and drinks and they have a chat about it. So it's really not advisable for friends, if they have a disagreement on something or a dispute on something, to go head on head. Okay, because you can never fix it that way, and it just gets worse. So we must all understand that we're going to have problems, and it's okay. Because if we don't, we can never rise above them and love the friends even more, right? That's how it is. But we have to understand that in order to rise above certain issues, sometimes it might be hard. And this is why we've got coordinators. So we need to come together, we need to be together, and we need to solve things together in a way that we're kind of like taking ourselves out of the dispute, out of the box, and looking at it from the sides of another person, like objectively from the outside. Okay? This is what it means together, and this is why we have friends. Otherwise, why do we need friends, right? So, Two friends should not argue between themselves if they have a problem, because two egos cannot solve it. However, if we all embrace the friends together, we can always solve our issues through a workshop. Anything we're unable to solve together means we are not connecting well, and if we fail, we shall seek advice from BB and take their recommendation. So what we need to do is, if we have any disputes in the group, we with the coordinators, all right, coordinators, and all of us get together, have a workshop and try to fix it. If we can't do it with the coordinators, you can't do it, then we're going to have to go to a higher level in BB, say, listen, we've got a problem. We can't fix it. Can you help us out? Okay, and that might be the situation. No shame in that. Can't fix everything. Nobody's perfect. All right. So, but what I want to say is, we always have someone to turn to. All right. But the important thing is that two friends should not go head on head, because if both of us are egoists, it will really stop us from coming to the love of friends. We won't be able to talk to each other. All right. But if we use the friends to solve the problem, we can afterwards hug each other. All right. Very important principle. Number 5. Chat groups. Okay, very important topic. Chat groups, guys. We're all trying to unite and achieve something called spirituality in the connection between us. So all the women and the men should be engaging in their spiritual work only in their chat group, known as the 10. We cannot perform spiritual work in multiple 10s. Everyone should have a focused 10 and should work in that 10. All right. Now, sometimes people are a member to a few places. Guys, if you spread out your forces, okay, you'll get weak. I'll tell you why. During the day, we're working. In the evening, we have family obligations, responsibilities. If I'm diversed into a few places, I'm never going to be able to focus. Right? Common sense. And then this will happen, and then I'll tell you what will happen. You'll be saying, I'm putting so much effort into a bunch of places and I'm not getting spiritual. Well, you won't. Why? Because there's no focus or quality in being diverse. Do you know what I mean? Okay, am I making sense? It's like Rav tells us all the time in the lesson. You guys are making a lot of effort, but you're making it in the wrong place. So all our time gets wasted. And then we get stressed out, blaming our spiritual study for taking a lot of our time, when in fact it isn't taking our time. We're just not being smart about it. If my 10 is Africa, I'm stuck in Africa. That's it. Okay? So we've decided to be BB Africa because all of us, there's only a few people in every location. But when we all come together, we make a strong 10. We make a strong Africa. Okay? So let's focus on this strong Africa. Let's make it work together. All our chats should be in one place. All our spiritual work should be in one place. Like a magnifying glass, you hold it to the sun and it focuses all the sun in one spot. And you can start a fire. That's how our focus should be. All right? So don't get diversified. Don't spread out. You'll just get weak, and then you'll blame Bnei Baruch. Okay? You'll say you're taking up all my time, and I'm not getting spiritual. And then and then we'll be saying, well, what are you doing with your time? Okay? Where else? Where are we? So we do not open chat groups regarding our spiritual work. Okay? So do not please open other chat boxes trying to get spiritual with a few other people. Okay, because your 10 is Africa. And if you can't get spiritual with those guys, I can guarantee you, you're not going to get spiritual with anyone. Right? Simple situation. Okay, so let's focus. We're Africans. Okay, Johnny is even African too. He's from South Africa, in case you didn't know. He might sound like an Australian, but he's a fake Aussie. All right, he's from South Africa. He's a fake Aussie. Okay. Even I feel like African with you guys, which is great. Okay, so let's make our continent great. Okay, let's focus on our continent and make it strong. So let's not diverse ourselves in our spiritual work with other chat groups and put effort into places where it just goes to waste. Okay, this is our home and we make it stronger together. So if a few of us, like in the Arvut article, right, if a few of us is slack and starts to do something irresponsible, it stops all of us from getting spiritual. Like we studied in the Arvut article a few weeks ago. What does it say? If a few people from the nation, which is us, starts to do something against our principles, well then everybody fails. Okay, it's like one of us drilling a hole in the boat. Well, we're all going to drown. Okay. So these principles that we put here are really 21st century, straight out of the books, in a language where we can, in a language we can understand. So I'm relating it to Baal Islam's articles because we should understand where they're all coming from. Okay. With the good and the bad, we move forward because we know there's none else besides the Creator, and all our conditions come from Him. And no matter what, we must stick together and unite further. No breaking out into other chat groups on the applications and multi-group tens. We focus, we work, we make it together. Okay? Are we all good with that? Yeah? Yes? No? No nods, no hands up, no thumbs up, nothing. Come on, guys, be a little proactive. You got a question? Yes, thank you.
What I've noticed is a lot of Africa is already in another tent somewhere else. And they have been pulled by the heart to support Africa and to be Africa, even though we may be living on other continents. I'll just speak for myself. I'm part of the young group and Top U. And I've been in the young group for several semesters, but Africa was home first. So I'm to the point where I can't pull away from Africa. But like you said, spiritually, I'm going to wear myself out trying to spread myself in places. But it's like I can't help it. I hear you. We all hear you. But we all are wanting to.
Okay. Is there any?
I don't want to shortchange Africa. I mean, I give as much as I can think of to Africa and thoughts, stuff like that. And I'm willing to do work. And my tens is not where Africa is. So they're like not disseminating, and they're some steps behind. And I'm thinking Africa as a learning tool in life. So I don't know what to do. We just keep going and prepare for the needs to be tired.
Okay, is there anybody else in Tauris's state? Tatiana, Tauris, who else? Who said something in the chat box? Maybe somebody's saying something. Delis, you're in Africa, no? Where else can you be? Okay, you're African, you're one of us. Okay.
And thank you for being honest, those that raised their hand.
Okay, so Tatiana is in the same spot, and Tauris. Okay, Louisa might be as well because she's in the UK. Okay. So we have a few
here with us today.
Right.
Bright is there. Kalichi. Okay, guys. All right. I understand what you're saying. I hear you all. Okay, but look, I'm Turkish. I'm looking after the Turkish group. I'm African. I'm looking after the African group. Dealing with everything. But when it comes to 10, I'm in 10-11 Petah Tikva. Okay, so when the African guys are on the morning lesson, I'm not with them. Okay, it's not that I don't want to be with them. It's just my 10 is sitting downstairs.
10:21 Petah Tikva.
Yeah, He's 21. So
19.
okay, guys. Okay, I think they got the message. Okay, all right. And what I'm saying is, they meet together at lunch times, and I'm not there because I'm with my 10. Okay, what we have to do, we're going to have to figure this out sometime. We're going to have to figure this out somehow. Okay, but if we want to focus, we need to connect somehow. And that connection needs to be built in a 10, and I need to keep pounding it like a hammer beating the steel so I can give it shape. And like you rightfully said, if you're in two places at the same time, you're going to wear yourself out because you got kids, work, this and that, home duties and so on, and it's going to tire you out, stress you out. We have to come to some kind of a mediation with this. So I've got no solution for this. Unfortunately, I don't. Okay, but I'm just telling you what we're doing. Although I'm with Turkey, I'm with Africa. Pretty soon I might be even with India. Okay, but my 10 is 11. Seriously, I'm also giving lectures to the Philippines, but my 10 is 11. Because I just don't have, 24 hours is not enough. I'm teaching 5 days a week this week. It's just not enough. Okay, so we have to make a decision. We have to make a call and say, or you might say, you know what, I'm going to do dissemination for Africa only, or I'm going to do dissemination for the US only, but I'm going to focus on my spiritual work with my 10 in Africa. Okay, you might have to juggle a few things there, but it's not a problem because I'm with Petah Tikva 11, but I'm doing dissemination for Africa, I'm doing it for Turkey, we're doing it for Philippines, India, we're all over the place, okay? We can help all our friends around the world, but we must have this little 10 where I can constantly hammer to get spiritual. And I don't want to say do this or do that because I'm not, everybody has their individual situation, but we're just taking advice from the Rav, and he says everything is in the 10. So if I now start dispersing to a few 10s, I'm not going to make it with any 10. It's like having, it's very hard to give advice. So each of you guys must, sit down and really think about it and see how you want to go. All right.
I can say that I was in a group in Dallas before I moved to Israel. And shortly before I moved here, some months before I moved here, it actually helped me make the decision to move here. My group, we had one guy who passed away. We had 2 friends who moved to Los Angeles. We had 2 or 3 other friends that moved here to Israel. And so then I joined the BB Virtual Society to do virtual online lessons because Texas is a big place. We had other groups in Houston and San Antonio, but it was 4 or 5 hours too far for me to drive. So I joined the virtual group. But the day that I moved here to Israel, and I told everybody there, look, I love you, but that's it. I mean, I'm here. I'm putting my efforts in. The only interaction with another 10 or another group that I've ever had since then is working here in the EC with Mutlu and with you guys, with the African students. Other than that, because it really, like Mutlu's saying, it's really hard to focus your intention and give it. I can tell you, me and Johnny, we work together. I mean, our boss, our job, the things that we do at work, and we're not in the same 10, but we do work together at the same department, same company. But yeah, we sit side by side. But I mean, he does his meetings sometimes during the day on Zoom with his 10. There's a time where I walk off and go to a private place and I'll do mine with my 10. But we don't intermix those things because we both feel very strongly about our 10s. We love our 10s. We love all of BB. We're one big happy family, global family, and that's huge. But unless I'm help planning for a Congress in Russia or the U.S. or something like that, or unless I'm doing something, I'm a coordinator for Africa, so I work with the Ghana group a lot. Unless it's that, those are the only things, and that's, sanctioned by BB work. I mean, that's not something that I'm just jumping into. But other than that, I don't do anything outside of my 10. If it's not with the African group or if it's not with my specific 10 here in Petah Tikva, I don't do anything with anybody else. And I understand that it's a hard decision to make. But we're coming here to put our half shekel in so the Creator can put his half shekel in. And the Creator is revealed for us amongst our tens. You know, that's where we start working in the center of the group. And it's something that some of you already know, some of you will learn as we go on. But our work is in the center, and right in the middle of our 10. That's our foundation, our everything. And so sometimes it takes you, I don't know, if I'm married so I don't chase other women. And my wife don't chase other men because we're married. And so that's kind of the way it is with me and my 10. We married. It's a relationship that we have. And it's something that we don't just have, but it's something that we build. And we're building. But we can't build it if I can't build my relationship with my wife if I'm focusing on somebody else. I don't know if that really makes sense to you, but that's like some of the best example I could actually spit out right now. But I love my 10, and I love all of BB. And if I was to move to New York, then I'd be part of a 10 there. But I'm here in Petah Tikva. I've made that decision that this is my place, and so I'm in a Petah Tikva 10, and so that's where I work. And that's really it. Like I say, it's a different decision to make, a difficult decision to make, but it for your spiritual advancement and for the advancement of the group, and to give your all and your dedication to a specific 10, whether it's Africa, whether you're in the U.S. and you're in a 10 there or whatever, it comes down to the commitment and the dedication and the desire that you have to see it build and grow and blossom like a flower. So that's all I got. Back to Mugo.
Okay. I just want to say, something. I just want to say something really small here, just further what the friend said, is that when you're in your 10, and it's a microcosm of the whole universe, and that's where you get your scrutinies from, and it's very, very intense. A group of 10 friends, and ultimately the whole world is our 10. But it's as you go from the more intense to go out to outer circles. But so we can go through the different states and we can make the different observations within ourselves. It's critical that we work in a defined 10. And once we do those experiments and those feelings and those changes within ourselves, then we'll all feel this one big 10 that we really all are. But in the meantime, until we don't feel that huge all of humanity, we go through those states internally within our 10s, and then we grow. We nurture ourselves and we grow, and it's like a little baby, take steps. You got your 10, and then you'll take steps, and you'll start feeling the world clear is your 10, and then the whole world is your 10, and maybe the whole universe is your 10, which is the still vegetative, animate, human levels of nature. So it's graduation. Yep.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Tatiana, go for it.
For instance, my 10, we meet once a day in the morning. That's all we need. So I still build a framework around that because there's touches throughout the day to do something. But what's just like say I set my framework. I have like my 10 that I meditate in the mornings, and then during the week there's the Africa events going on, and then if there's, for instance, one day I've been doing every for a long time, once a week with others, another like 40 minutes, and it kind of fits into a framework. That's still wearing myself thin, or?
Guys, you'll know when you're wearing yourself thin because you'll be overwhelmed. Okay, if everything is fitting in, everything is honky-dory, I've got nothing to say. Okay, but I'm just giving you a heads up because some of us are working with family, work. We're going to feel stress. And I feel sometimes, I see from experience in a lot of friends, they fall off and they say BB is very demanding. Okay, so I just want you to know that BB is not demanding. It's about us fitting ourselves into a nice framework. Okay, for our spiritual development. So this is why I'm giving you a heads up. A spiritual group doesn't mean, I'm torn between two worlds and I'm flat out, and then I'm like falling off the bandwagon. That's not spirituality. We just need to work smart about things. So this is why I'm giving you guys a heads up. Okay, Johnny, you wanted to say something?
I want to speak.
Go on, Dillies.
Okay, and the family's going crazy at the back wanting food, but that's okay. So I want to say big l'chaim to be here with you all tonight. It's great. I listened to you three sitting over there, and I can hear the passion that you have for your team. Right? So to move from one team to another is a very difficult decision to make because of that love that you feel for your team. But I think you have to be driven by the fact that whether you are doing a service to your team or a disservice. And I'm so happy for the women in Africa that we have Mariana and Mel that's joined, and we're growing. And clearly that team is going to grow. But we will take it gently, slowly, and go with what Mariana and Mel want us to assist with. The other thing I just wanted to say is, if you have a specific team, that doesn't mean that if you join the morning lessons, that group is your team, correct? There has to be designated teams for the men in Africa. And that has to be determined in future.
Right now, okay, the men, like right now, the closed group, all the men in the closed group Africa are 110. And I'm thinking all the women 110 as well. The reason is this: when we come up to the morning lesson, you see that there's sometimes 5-6 guys. There's sometimes that might be more or less. Okay, so even though we've got like 20-25 guys, the persistent consistency is not 100% from everyone, which is understandable, and that's how it is with all the world groups. It's like that, and that's cool. So our 10, on the one hand, during the morning lesson, is whoever is there. That's our 10, right? But also whoever is in the chat group and who's active and wants to join in, that's also the 10. So when we're talking about 10, we're not counting heads or anything. Basically, we're just a group. That specific group is the 10, and that's where we're really, giving our efforts to, so we can connect. That's the whole idea. You can sit tomorrow, if you went to the US or to another continent, you sat with a European group in the morning lesson, that'll be your 10. For that morning lesson, it'll be your 10. Okay? It's not about, choosing or selecting a group of people. It's about getting a job done. And it's about serving the friends, where my intention, my desire, my effort is going to serve. Because as students of Kabbalah, what we want to do is try, at least make the effort to serve. Okay, make that effort. Okay, and there are times we're not doing a good job. That's true, but we make an effort, and the Creator helps out. So that's all I'm trying to do. We're just trying to make this stronger for us to move forward. Right, Johnny, you wanted to say something?
Thank you, Butler. Yeah, it's been an observation for a while, and something that I just want to bring up for maybe discussion, and also how tight it is, the amount of information and expression one has, specifically social media, with WhatsApp, Facebook, I don't know, like Instagram, Google, all these stuff. And one thing I've noticed quite often, we are getting tired, or personally myself as well. And I make sure that during the lessons, my son is not near me, off. Because then, quite often in the morning, there's friends who are busy workshopping, but photos are taken on WhatsApp, messages happening in groups. So that thing immediately makes tired, and it just deviates your concentration on the action. Give importance to the friends, other, and doing other stuff when it's a virtual group. when it's sitting in front of my head or it's taught, the friends behaving certain way, but the rigid group listen to have some form of structure or pace. And the friends will give him full attention, and the pros, yeah, all these social medias and all that. You need to put some presence to your structure, make it so rigid or whatever. It's just giving some form of substance. This is what I just want to add.
Well, this is what we're intending to do over the next 8 lessons, okay, to make ourselves stronger, to give us a nice structure, and to give us a framework so that everybody has a framework, whether he or she comes once a week or 7 days a week or once a month, but somebody just we have a structure. We want to get that done. And in terms of the seriousness, as we grow up, we're going to get serious, okay? This takes time. This happens in all the groups, because sometimes it's difficult for a person to sit there for 3 hours. It just is. We have guys here as well. They just can't sit for 3 hours. They need to go out for a smoke. They need to go out for a coffee. Do you know what I mean? It happens. But this is an eventual growth process. What we need to do, all of us as Bnei Baruch students, need to try and be a good example to everyone. So as much as we can all be good examples in our seriousness in the lesson, it'll influence the others. And that will give room for the others to grow, rather than us, telling them, because otherwise it's just not the Kabbalistic way of education. The education is being a good example. So I understand your frustration. We've got that here as well. But like the Rav says as well, what can you do? Okay. The most important thing is to take responsibility upon ourselves to be good, responsible students, so that other friends can be inspired, so they can say, wow, maybe I should focus as well, and so on. Kalichi, you wanted to say something as well?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. All of us, we know the reality around. Is that in Africa, there's a greater deficiency. It's not because of ego, because of Africa. If you look around the world, there are so many groups in America. We have thousands in Europe, but we have only one in Africa. So if we could bring all the members of BB all around the world to support Africa until we grow to a point where we could be like Europe, or like everyone can. It's the energies that come. So my what I'm asking everyone is to support Africa fully. At least we grow to a 2 or 3 10. Then we can go back to our places we want to go. But Africa needs our support. That's
Lahaim, we can definitely ask for the Europeans and the Americans and the Russians to think about us. That's for sure. But what we don't want to do now is bring a lot of people from Europe as well. Europe isn't actually that strong either, okay? Because they're very divided as well. We had a lot of dramas with Europe, and still it's very dramatic. They just can't seem to connect, and it's just weird. It's really weird. And this is one of the reasons we're trying to get Africa to be one, because we don't want all this separation. We want to have this one big African group at least. And I'll tell you why. If we grow in different countries over time, okay, we can separate to different countries, but when it comes to that, we'll all be strong. We'll be able to handle it. And Europeans, they haven't been able to handle it. They can't manage their stuff. Okay, a lot of European groups have dramas. So I think the way we started as an Africa group, for me, I think it was the right step. I thought it was good. Otherwise, it was just going to be 1 or 2 people everywhere, and nothing was going to really happen. So I think we've got the right start. All we have to do now is, over the course of the 8 weeks, carry on together so we can absorb this material together. All of us build their own individual framework, and let's put it on an Excel sheet so that we can see how our friends want to participate. And if they feel weak and if they fall off, we can call them and we can help them because we know what they want to achieve. Just like we do in Bnei Baruch Israel, right? So for example, when I don't turn up, they call me. Why? Because they know I'm supposed to come on this day, and if I don't, they'll call me. So we must also start to build this responsibility for the friends. That if I know, I don't know, let's say Kalicha said, I'm going to be in the morning lesson every Monday. And it's Monday, but Kalicha isn't there. Because I know his framework, I can say, wait a minute, Kalicha was supposed to be here on Monday. So I can give him a call. But if I don't know what he's doing, and if he's just coming and going with no plan, no program, well, I can't call Kalicha because I don't know what he's doing. So I can't apply arvut to Kalichi. So there's no way for me to go forward because I've got no idea what Kalichi's framework is. I can't help him. Same with anybody else. If I don't know what Yao's program is, if Yao is saying, for example, I'm coming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's Wednesday and he's not there, I can call him. But if I don't know when he's coming and going, I say, well, I don't know. So you can't be a group if you don't know what all of you are doing. Like kids. If the kids are late from school, I'm thinking, where are the kids? What happened to the kids? Wait a minute, it's 4 o'clock, they should be here already, it's 5:30, and nobody's giving me a call. So I've got reason to worry. But how am I going to take care of the friends if I don't have a reason to worry? And we won't get spiritual that way. So these 8 lessons ahead of us, this 8 weeks, are very important for this group to build itself. I'm really sorry I'm overseas for this, but my wife's pregnant, so she's going to give birth overseas in the US. She's American. So this is why I have to go. Otherwise, there's no way on earth anyone could drag me for the next 8 weeks from this group. Okay? But such is the Creator. Okay? So, but we've got great friends, Johnny and Anthony. And, and we're all together. And because we're all together, we can do it. All right? Cool bananas. Now, I don't want to drag on all night because we got the morning lesson, right? Who's asking?
Abdul.
Abdul is asking. Abdul, go for it.
Abdul, you have to unmute your microphone. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm on it now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's a good thing to be here, and I thank you for your effort. I want to make a suggestion in view of the issues that we are discussing. I look forward to a convention in Africa that will bring us together physically so that we really do this thing, the way it should be done. It's been done in the US and in Europe. In my area, for example, I'm the only person that is undergoing training, and I find it difficult. I go on the environment most time. I go out there, I drink with my friends, and I forgot that I post in a meeting, and I feel bad about that. So we really need to start creating such groups that are physically present in Africa through one convention that can all of us can be part of. Thank you very much.
I've got good news for you all. You guys want a Congress? Yeah? Africa? You guys want a We can get this done if we make this unity this year. I promise you all, if we take this forward, I'm telling you, this is the whole idea of we uniting like this. If we get through this 8 weeks, we build this group, we build our framework, and we're nailing it. Rav is going to see we're on there. The minute Rav feels we're together, united, we'll have a Congress in Africa. I promise you. Okay? But if we don't do the work, Rav's going to say, sorry, no can do. Okay? Because he doesn't want to come there and do a Congress with a bunch of zebras. He wants to come there and do a Congress with a bunch of BB people. Okay? Same, this is why he doesn't go to Australia. Okay, he doesn't go to... I'm from Australia originally, so is John. He doesn't go to Australia. Why? Because nothing's happening. Okay? So we want a Congress in Africa. We can't talk about it. we have to act about it. We have to take action. And action is an action of unity. We build our frameworks, we apply Rabash, we build this group, we put us on the map, and we bring Rav. And then when he comes, it will be because of our efforts. And we won't feel like Rav is doing us a favor. We'll feel like we're doing the Rav a favor. That's bestowal. Okay, so let's do the Rav a favor. He's doing us a favor every day. Let's return the favor. Let's get this done. Have a congress in Africa. And then once we have a congress in Africa, the group will quadruple. Okay? Because we'll have spiritual force. So my request from everyone in the group, please. Tuesday nights, it's our spiritual group night. Okay? Let's make this happen. Let's help Johnny and Anthony. Let's make life easy for all of us. Okay? And follow this through. Make our tents strong, and let's show the Rav, the world Kli, that we've got something to give the world. Okay, the civilization, the world started from Africa. Let's bring it back. All right.
You know, Mulu, I just want to say something. You all just heard Abdul speak. Abdul just completed the last semester with us. Also, if you look, on my screen, it's right above Abdul. You see Emmanuel? Emmanuel, wave your hand for me. Say what's up to everybody. Emmanuel, he was with us all the way through. If you look down there in the bottom corner of my screen, I see Melissa, even though she's not showing her face right now, but she was with us as well. And we also got Enoch. Enoch, where you at? Enoch, wave your hand for me, man. You see that smile? There you go. There you go. You see there? We got James. James, his camera's off. So, this right here, Marjana, hello. How are you? So, you guys got to realize this is really, really special. We got new friends here, and we got old friends here, and this is the family. This is the family. So I'm really proud to be here with all y'all, and very excited. And I look forward to, and so does Jono. We both look forward to the rest of these lessons, and becoming tighter and tighter and tighter, because that's what we're here for, to unite. So let's take that step and make this thing happen. Let's do what we came here to do.
Exactly. Now, one last thing, guys, before we end. At the end of that, I've put down our schedule. Okay, all the activities that we do. Now, whatever you guys do together, your lunchtime talks, your morning lessons, your Zohar, whatever, please post the Zoom link there so the friends know about it. Okay, so in the men's chat box, say, guys, we're meeting, 2 o'clock. Here's the Zoom link for it. See you guys at 2. When you wake up for the morning lesson, like we always do a thumbs up so we know we're awake. Okay? Because that gives inspiration. The first thing I do when I wake up and I'm on the way to the center, I give you guys a thumbs up. I give you guys a thumbs up before my 11. I'm serious. I go Africa first. Africa, thumbs up. We're up. We're rolling. Okay? And then it's my 10. Why? Because we need to hold each other. Okay, so please make sure you share your Zooms, help each other out. Let's, hold each other by the hand, and we can make this happen. Now, one other thing, we must all be members to Siviva Torah, otherwise we can't watch the Saturday lessons because it's hidden. Okay, so everyone, there's a link there. It says kabbalahgroup.info, internet EN users login. It says registration to Siviva Torah site. Okay, that I spelled site wrong there, sorry. That should be site. Okay. Please register. Okay. Please register. Oh, you can't do it, I'll do it. And if you can't sign in, you must let Anthony or Jonathan know, because you need permission to get in there. Okay, they're going to look at your email and they're going to give you the permission to enter that special place where you can watch the lesson for Saturdays. All right, it's very important. And it's the guy who gives permission is Benny Ferdman. Okay, Benny, you know Benny Ferdinand. Okay, he's in my 10 as well. So, all right. So if you got dramas, logging in, getting in, and seeing the Saturday lesson, it means you need permission. Okay, and ask Johnny and Anthony, and they'll let the guys here know. You must know which email you registered with. Okay, so they can check your email and give you permission to enter that place. Very important. Other than that, I'm not going to be able to see you until I'm back, which is mid-September. Okay, I'll see you guys on Facebook, obviously, but so I'm gonna really miss all of you. Africa is like, it's not a second home; it is home. So I'm a bit, scared of being away from you guys, to be honest, because I'm going to miss you all. But this is the situation. All right, 8 weeks. Let's nail it. Let's build our framework. Get strong. Build Africa this year. I promise you, Rob will see, and we'll have a Congress next year. He'll ask for it himself. He'll say we need a Congress in Africa. Okay, he gave us a sign of that, He gave us a sign, and the reason he gave us a sign is because now he wants something from us. He gave us a tip. He says, we could do a Congress in Africa. Why? Because he's checking our pulse. He's checking us out. He's saying, where are you guys at? You guys want it? Okay, so he's teasing us. So let's not let him down. Okay, I'm going to love you all. We all love you all. Okay, you do as well.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Kalichi, give me a kiss, man. I think his camera's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen. I'll give you a Kalichi kiss.
Oh, there he is.
Thank you so much for your dedication and your and then I don't want to ask if it's going to be a boy or a girl, but whatever we can introduce you, we're all happy with you. And I give you a very big kiss for you and your wife. It goes like this.
Thank you, Kalichi. I think that's going to be a signature for Africa. We're going to have that mwah sound. Good. Thank you, guys. So, Johnny and Anthony, you guys will see them next week. There'll be text. Please have your Rabash social writings book ready. Okay, we're going to read. They're going to be reading through that. Let's just make this happen. Love you all. Take care. Stay with love. See you in the morning lesson if you come in. All the best.